You buy a healthy, vibrant houseplant, set it in the corner of your living room, and make sure to water it every single day. But within weeks, the leaves are drooping, turning pale yellow, and slowly dying. Animals grow by consuming physical food, chewing and digesting mass to build their bodies. Plants do not eat physical food. So where exactly do they get the mass and energy required to stay healthy and grow? To find out, we can set up a diagnostic baseline known as the three-pot experiment. We take 3 identical saplings and isolate their environmental variables. Pot A gets sunlight and water. Pot B gets sunlight but no water. And pot C gets water but is kept in total darkness. 2 weeks later, the results in the first 2 pots are exactly what you would expect. Pot A is thriving and bright green. Pot B, completely dehydrated, has wilted and turned brown. The anomaly is pot C. It received ample water every single day. Yet, trapped in the dark, the sapling is stunted, pale, and dying. Watering a plant is not enough to keep it alive. Plant growth is an active, demanding process. It requires a precise, continuous formula of interacting elements to build mass out of thin air, and that entire reaction relies on a crucial energy trigger: light. Light provides the physical fuel for a plant's internal factory. This energy is captured by chlorophyll, the green pigment located within the leaf cells. Light energy fuses water and carbon dioxide to create glucose and release oxygen in a process called photosynthesis. To use that food, the plant performs respiration. Day and night, it consumes its own glucose and oxygen to release the usable energy required for growth. The intensity of the light hitting the leaves acts as a throttle. Brighter light speeds up the photosynthesis factory, allowing the plant to build more glucose to fuel its constant respiration. If you remove that light, like we did with pot C in our experiment, the plant can no longer build glucose. Even with roots soaking in water, it slowly starves on a cellular level, having no chemical energy to break down. Pot B died from thirst, because water serves a dual purpose. It is a raw material for photosynthesis and a structural support for the plant's physical architecture. Plants rely on turgor pressure, the outward force of water pushing against rigid plant cell walls. Pumped full of water, cells act like inflated balloons, holding the stem upright. When water runs out, they deflate and the structure collapses. To secure this water, plants deploy root hairs. These are microscopic extensions on the roots that act like tiny sponges, massively expanding the underground surface area to pull in as much moisture as possible. Once that water travels up the stem, it reaches the underside of the leaves. Here we find stomata. Stomata are microscopic pores surrounded by guard cells that open and close to let carbon dioxide in. This constant exchange creates a biological dilemma. Every time a plant opens its stomata to take in carbon dioxide, vital water vapor escapes through those same pores, a process called transpiration. Water acts as both the structural skeleton holding the plant up and the medium of a constant balancing act. It is the vehicle moving through the plant, pulling our third and final essential ingredient up from the earth. Suppose you give a sapling perfect light and perfectly balanced water, but you plant it in sterilized sand. The plant will still turn yellow and its growth will stall. Water and light provide energy and structure, but soil provides the physical building blocks. Soil provides 3 critical macronutrients. First, nitrogen builds plant proteins, fueling explosive green leaf growth. Second, phosphorus transfers cellular energy, stimulating roots and new flowers. Third, potassium acts as an immune system, regulating overall health and disease resistance. These solid minerals cannot enter the plant on their own. They must dissolve in moisture so the roots can absorb them, pulling them up the stem through xylem vessels, the specific internal tubes responsible for transporting water and dissolved minerals upwards from the roots. The soil itself is a complex chemical pantry. Its nutrients must perfectly interlock with light energy and water pressure to physically construct the body of the plant. By isolating this 3-part biological equation, light, water, and soil nutrition, humanity has learned to engineer our global food systems. Commercial indoor vertical farms manipulate light intensity. By bathing crops in specific blue and red color spectrums, engineers can hypercharge the rate of photosynthesis, producing food year-round regardless of the weather outside. Massive agricultural operations deploy measured, precise irrigation grids. They maintain turgor pressure across thousands of acres of crops, replacing exactly what escapes through transpiration without wasting local water resources. And agricultural scientists meticulously test soil chemistry. Before a single seed goes into the ground, they verify that the exact required ratio of nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium is present and available. We can apply this exact same scientific equation to the wilting houseplant from the living room. We move it out of the dark corner and into a sunny window to restart photosynthesis. We establish a drainage-friendly watering schedule to restore its turgor pressure, and we add a balanced NPK fertilizer to the soil to rebuild its cellular structure. Plants are active, complex chemical factories. By balancing the specific inputs of their environment, they sustain their own growth, and in the process, they sustain all life on Earth.